Hello, everyone. Sophia Parola here, host of the Garden State Film Festival, and I am here with Chris Brenner, the director and producer of Against the Tide, A Surfer's Journey, a short documentary that was accepted into Garden State Film Festival. Congratulations, Chris.
Thank you. Honored to be part of it.
Oh, so happy to have you. I mean, it's so nice to see a short documentary. One of the things I love about the festival is seeing different types of videos, not just films out there. So, and I saw your documentary and it was so beautiful just to see it all. So I would love for you to tell everybody a little bit of who you are and a little bit about this documentary.
Sure. So, I'm a Jersey Shore native, grew up in the area here and just got into really amateur filmmaking some years ago. And most of my work has been historical documentaries, like hyper-local documentaries. I've been part of the festival in the past, and it's been a great experience. And this film, a little bit of a deviation. There's some historical aspects. It's more kind of what I consider to be more recent history, because it's partially my life is involved in it, but it's just an inspirational story that I thought was a really good time to tell right now.
Absolutely. And I see, the surfboard in the back, and you said you're a Jersey Shore local. I mean, is that why you chose to do a documentary about a surfer's journey? What was the idea came from? How did it all begin?
Sure. Yeah. So, like I said, actually personally kind of invested in this. So when I grew up, right near Seabright, New Jersey. So right here near the ocean, and water and swimming and surfing and fishing and all the things that had to do with the ocean were just a huge part of my youth and growing up. And then that evolved as I got a little bit older into surfing. And so there was this pack of us kids, pack of boys that were really into, really got into it through our preteen and teenage years. And it was such a great time and so many great memories. And I always wanted to do something with it, but there wasn't much of a story there. But that all changed about 10 years ago for me when I was reading a local paper and read a story about this guy who had overcome this incredible situation in his life, this medical event. As I read the article, his name was revealed, and it turns out it was one of my old surfing buddies that I had, lost touch with. And I couldn't believe it. And so we reconnected. He had written a book at that time, and his name's Keith Buff. And so we reconnected, and it turned out that his life story was just unbelievable. And the thread that ran through it was really surfing. And so that's what I decided to go ahead and put it together and make a short out of it.
Oh, wow. That's so cool. I didn't know it had begun like that. I saw in the beginning of the short documentary, it said based on the book, and I didn't know that. And that's so cool that you had that connection with him. I would love to ask you, how did you go about reaching out? Because I saw you were interviewing a lot of local natives and just, had in the research, there's pictures. How did you go about all the information in the interviews?
Yeah, it was interesting. I got the idea to do this, I'd say probably around December of 2019, right? And so at that point I was like, this is going to be great. I'll go make this film. And for my day job, I travel a lot. And since I knew roughly that a lot of the guys that I used to surf with was sort of scattered around the country, some are in California and different places. And I thought, well, for my work, I can sort of dovetail into that. I'll go interview them. It'll be great. And I was just starting to put all that together. And of course, the pandemic hit. That just squashed all the travel. So I had to change the film a little bit, which was like everybody this year, it's had its challenges. But yeah, I was able to reach out through, I had to work on it a little bit, but just social media and networking a little bit. One guy knew another guy and what they were up to. And I was able to round up some of the old gang and, was able to get them outside and did some interviews, which was awesome. And even found the guy who made all our surfboards, that was sort of like our mentor, who owned the surf shop where we all hang around. And he's still in the area and was gracious enough to come and be interviewed. And it was awesome to reconnect with him too. So yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Wow. And I mean, that's congratulations on being able to still, even though the plans kind of drifted from what you originally wanted, being able to still accomplish what you did during a pandemic and, still I think you had a wonderful way of still capturing that community. And, what it feels like, I felt like, I'm not a surfer, but watching it made me kind of feel like one, and I saw a lot of familiar places, Seager and Seabright and all these places that I'm really familiar with in the area.
Yeah. And I think, the other thing I I'm getting to a point now, my childhood's long enough where it doesn't seem like it to me, but especially after Hurricane Sandy, the whole shore just changed so much, right? The beaches changed, a lot of the buildings got knocked down, right? So when you look back now at some of those old pictures, it's a long time ago, but it was pretty radically different, and you don't really realize it over time until you go back and compare. But somebody that's driving around or walking through or on the beaches of Seabright, New Jersey today would be, I think probably pretty amazed to see some of those old pictures from the 70s and what it looked like, because it really was pretty different, and things have come a long way. So it was fun doing that and digging up the old photos as well.
Oh, absolutely. And I would love to know why you decided to submit this to Garden State Film Festival.
So it's not my first experience. A few years back, I made one of those historical documentaries about another thing a little further up the coast. And I had no idea about film festivals or what it was all about. And somebody suggested that I get involved in it. And I think it was Lori Draz, who's maybe involved with the festival. And she had seen the film, and I didn't know a thing about it. I just was doing this for fun. And I thought I was in over my head, which I probably am, but I had such a wonderful time at that festival, and the people were so welcoming. I was so humbled by it all that I just said, I just want to do this. I want to be part of this event as often as I can. And I haven't been able to do it every year, but when I can, I try and get something that's worthy of it. And I've just been, honored, honestly, to be a part of it. It's such a great experience, and a little bit of a bummer that we're not all together and having the big celebrations like usually, but it's still great. And it's still a lot of fun to be part of.
I completely agree. And that's such beautiful words. And I think it is so amazing that you watch your short documentary and you see the ocean and all these places that you're so familiar with. And the Garden State Film Festival was born in Asbury, and it's going to be in Asbury again this year, right next to the beach, right next to the ocean. And I think it's so great that we get to see a documentary like yours in a place that it really kind of was born in and has so much to do with.
Yeah, I hope to capture a little bit of that and a little bit of nostalgia. And, Asbury Park's such a great nostalgic city. And even those same times, I didn't really put it in the film, but when I was a kid in those age groups, I remember vividly, I mean, my grandparents used to take us to the Asbury Park boardwalk. And it was like, when you were 7 years old, that was like going to Disneyland. We thought, Asbury Park was amazing.
Right, the water park there, everything's amazing and huge.
It was fantastic. And that was like the heyday of the boardwalk, and things were just, and it was a blast. So I love Asbury Park. And again, having the festival there is awesome to be, just to be part of that. So, yeah.
That's beautiful. And I wanted to say, Chris, one of the things that really strikes me when I was watching your documentary, you had this quote, I think it was at the end, I'm not sure where it was, or someone said it, it was, "We're all blessed to be on this earth." And I felt that watching your documentary, you really appreciate what the ocean is not man-made. And it's just so beautiful that even, like you said, throughout Hurricane Sandy, and even while during COVID, you still have this beautiful ocean just sometimes right at your front door. And I would just love to know, what is the ocean in this documentary? What does it mean to you personally? Yeah. What would you like for people to feel watching this documentary?
Well, it's really, I appreciate you picked up on that. I think for me, and I think for all the folks that were involved in this, and for any of us that have spent time at the beach or in the ocean, if you really spend time there and you really spend time in the water and around the water, it takes on, it's a little bit more than just going for a swim. There's a life, there's a like a heartbeat to the ocean, and you have to respect it, because and reconnecting with some of these guys, we remembered some days. Teenagers do silly things sometimes. And, we would go out in hurricanes and nor'easters where we really, we didn't tell our parents. We had no business being out there, and we really could have been hurt or worse. And, but you learn this respect for the ocean, and sort of this, you have this relationship with it where you have to respect it and give back to it. And it's kind of a really interesting thing. And somehow that thread went through it to this film. And then, after the pandemic broke, it just seemed like it poured it on. It was like, we really needed to hear this message now, right? That we can connect with nature, and then Keith's story is just so unbelievable and so inspiring, that he overcame the worst that can happen to a human being, frankly, and and his spirit is just fantastic. And you're right, the words at the end of the film are spoken by Durf McTighe, who's the guy who ran the surf shop that we all used to hang around in. And he was just like I said, a mentor. Really guided us as teenage kids and as surfers, and we totally respected him. And I was so, he just spoke that so beautifully, and it was like the perfect end cap to the story, because he's still mentoring us, right? And we're quite a bit older now, so it was a great moment.
I love that. I love that. I mean, I think that's a perfect way to end this interview, because I just want those words to sit with myself and everyone watching, because it's so true. And I could really feel that love. And I hope everyone gets the opportunity to hear Keith's story and to watch this beautiful imagery you have, and really be appreciating Earth, because that's what I felt watching your documentary. And congratulations on accomplishing that and getting it accepted, and also not giving up, even though the pandemic might have shifted things for all of us. And we hope at Garden State, your success is our success. And we really hope that you continue to submit and making documentaries and doing what you do, because, we love it. We love to see it.
Well, it's a great organization and a great event. And, for anybody that sees this, please, join in, watch the blocks. It's the best weekend of the year, right? I mean, it's just the films that you see, you just can't describe how amazing some of them are. And it's just a totally fun thing to enjoy and different. And, it's a great event to be a part of, for sure.
Thank you so much, Chris. Thank you so much. I absolutely agree. And I think that it's definitely awesome that you can go to different blocks and watch different things. And the block that you are going to be in is during the environmental block, which is really cool. I mean, you could go from watching films, from music videos, and come and be humble and grounded in this beautiful environmental block. And you'll get to watch Against the Tide, A Surfer's Journey. It will be playing at the Berkeley Hotel in the Johnny and June room, Saturday, March 27th, in the environmental block, 12 p.m. to 1:15 p.m. So hopefully everyone can check it out. I'm definitely going to try to be there, and it's going to be fun right in Asbury. Probably hop in the ocean. It's not freezing after.
Maybe a little chilly.
Maybe a little surf. I'm going to learn how to surf after this, I promise.
Awesome. We'll go together. I haven't been in a while, but I think this summer you might see me out there after this.
Oh my gosh. I hope so. You're going to have to teach me. Well, thank you again, Chris, and congratulations. Thanks, and best of luck to you and your surfer journey and your future success.
Awesome. Thanks for having me. And here's to a great festival.
Yes.